So we continue with the chapter direct and inverse variation, and we are on the third part of the chapter, that is the time and work. Now time and work as such is inverse variation, because if we see the time and work, we'll always find that more the more the people, automatically lesser the time will be required, so on. So work and time will always be that way. But then why it is different? The difference is because if I say that if I can complete a work in 10 days, and if my brother can complete the work in 5 days, so if I and my brother both work together, can I say that we will complete it in 15 days? No, of course not. If I can complete the whole work in just 10 days and my brother can do it in 5 days, of course the time taken will be less than 5. Okay, क्योंकि वो अकेला 5 दिन में कर सकता है और मैं अकेला 10 दिन में कर सकता हूँ. तो if I am helping my brother to do the work, he will be able to do it much faster. So that means we will be able to do it faster than 5 days, because that is only 5 days is when a single person is working. So due to this particular complication, that we cannot just add them up directly. I cannot just say that he can do the work in 5 days, he can do the work in 10 days, so the total the days time required to do the work will be 5 plus 10 or 10 subtraction, कुछ भी directly हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So we here need to find out something which is going to be 1 day work. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to find out that what will be the 1 day work of one person. So suppose if I am able to do the work in 10 days, that means in 1 day I am completing 1/10 of the work. I'll give you an example. सब कैडबरी का बार रहता है. Okay, the कैडबरी का बार जो है उसके अंदर suppose there are 10 pieces. Okay, there are 10 pieces are there. If I am going to complete that Cadbury in, let's say, 10 days, of course बहुत ज़्यादा है, उतना टाइम तो मैं resist नहीं कर पाऊँगा. We'll take it 10 minutes. ठीक है, we'll take it 10 minutes. If I am able to complete that particular Cadbury in 10 minutes, that means in 1 minute I am eating one piece of that thing. That is 1/10 of that whole Cadbury. Right? So 1 day work or 1 minute work of a person is equals to 1 upon the number of days or number of minutes it takes to complete the work. So if I say that A can do work in 5 days, his 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 5. What is the amount of work it does in 1 day? 1 upon 5. So automatically how many days is it in 5 days? So 1 upon 5 into 5 is equals to 1 work. That's precisely what we want. Right? So that's precisely, we are right. So this means 1/5 of the work is going to be completed by A in 1 day. Similarly, if B can do work in 10 days, his 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10. So if both of them are going to work together, what will happen? He will complete 1/5 of the work and he will complete 1/10 of the work in 1 day. Got it? If A and B both are going to work simultaneously, if A also starts working, B also works simultaneously at the same time, A as per his speed will complete 1/5 of the work in 1 day, and B as per his speed he is going to complete 1/10 of the work in 1 day. So what is the work done in 1 day? 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 10. Work done by A plus 1 done by B together will be 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 10. LCM is 10. So this will be 2 plus 1 is equals to 3 upon 10. So 3 upon 10 work. So it is like 3 upon 10 work is done in one day. So how many days will require to complete one day, one work? So it is this way, 3 upon 10 in one day. So one work in X days. So you'll find as 3 upon 10. Now it is going to be this way, more the work, more the number of days, lesser day, lesser number of work, lesser number of days. So direct variation. So it is 3 upon 10 into X is equals to 1 into 1. So what will be X? X will be equal to, ये reciprocal हो जाएगा, so it will be 1 into 10 upon 3, so equals to 10 upon 3. Now you need not do this part at all. You can directly say whatever is the value you get in one day. Since जैसे हम लोग ये किया था ना, 5 days था तो 1/5 कर दिया उसको, वैसे ही जो मुझे आंसर मिलेगा उसका reciprocal will be the number of days required. So if I get the sum is 10 upon 3, the number of days required will be 1/3 days. You understood this? I need not do these steps. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे steps नहीं बनाए थे, I just directly wrote ना, A can do the work in 5 days, so his one day work is 1/5. Similarly, if somebody's one day work is 1/21, that means his number of days he will require to complete the work is 21. तो जो भी हमारा आंसर है उसका रेसिप्रोकल, जो भी हमारा आंसर यहाँ पे वर्क के अंदर जो भी हम लोग को आंसर आता है उसका रेसिप्रोकल इज द नंबर ऑफ डेज और द नंबर ऑफ मिनट्स और नंबर ऑफ आवर्स दैट पर्टिकुलर work is going to be done by both of them combined. Is it clear? So the main thing over here is that whatever is the work done, means whatever is the data given to you for how many days or how many hours it is going to take for one person to do the work, and how many days or hours is going to take for the other person to do the work is given to you. You are going to take the reciprocal and 1 upon that many days and 1 upon that many days of the other one, add them up. आंसर जो भी आएगा उसका रेसिप्रोकल विल बी योर नंबर ऑफ डेज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर कंप्लीटिंग द वर्क बोथ वर्किंग टुगेदर. Okay, so I think you will get a better idea when you start doing the sums of exercise 9.3. So we start with the first sum of exercise 9.3. I would say that time and work is always slightly difficult rather than the normal direct and inverse variation. So be more attentive when we are doing these sums. Do it with me properly because these sums are going to be slightly difficult for you to understand or to do it on your own. So understand each and every sum properly and then go further. Okay. So we'll go for the first sum. A farmer can reap a field in 10 days. Okay, so the first sum is farmer reaps in 10 days. Therefore, his 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10. Now, while his wife can do it in 8 days, so 5 is faster. You know, the reason is given over here. It's quite funny over here because they're given that she does not waste time in smoking. The farmer, he is busy smoking in between, so he wastes his time. So that's why he takes 10 days to complete the work. Whereas the female, the wife of hers, is she doesn't smoke, so she completes the work in 8 days. So quite funny, but yeah, it's good. So wife reaps in 8 days. Therefore, her 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 8. So, if they work together, in how much time can they reap the field? So, you can say work, 1 day work together, 1 day work together is equals to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 8. LCM over here will be 40. So this is 4 plus 5 is equals to 9 upon 40 work. Therefore, time taken is equals to 40 upon 9. That will be equal to 436 and 4 upon 9. So 4 upon 9 days. So together they can read in 4 upon 9 days. Okay, so 4 upon 9 is the answer for sum number 1 of 9.3. 4, one sec. Sorry. 4 1 upon 9 is what? Okay, backside the answer given to you is 4 1 upon 9, which is not possible because LCM cannot be 37. So it is 4 upon 9 days. So answer backside is error in the printing error somewhere. So it is 4 upon 9 days. It should be 4 upon 9. It cannot be 4 1 upon 9. So it will be 4 upon 9. I'll just change that thing so that not confusion later on. Okay, so that was sum number 1. We now move on to sum number 2. A can do 1/5 of a certain work in 2 days. B can do 2/3 of it in 8 days. In how many days can they complete the work together? So here what we'll do is that we know that A can do 1/5 of the work in 2 days. So let's see that how much he can do in 1 day. Similarly, B can do 2/3 in 8 days. So how much he can do in 1 day? That is what we are going to find out. And then we are going to add it up. So you can see that A can do 1/5 work in 2 days. Therefore, X work in 1 day. So X into 2 is equals to 1 upon 5 into 1. Okay, because always the work and days will be inversely, see, if the work is more, the number of days will be more. So definitely it is going to be direct variation. So cross multiplying this thing. So X is equals to 1 upon 5 into 2 is equals to 1 upon 10 work. So A is 1 day's work. So A is 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10. Now it's given B can do 2/3 work in 5 days. 8 days, sorry, it is 8 days. Therefore, X is already taken, so Y work in 1 day. So Y into 8 is equals to 2 upon 3 into 1. So Y is equals to 2 upon 3 into 1 upon 8 is equals to 2, so 1 upon 12. Therefore, B's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 12. So A is 1 upon 10 and B is 1 upon 12. Now together, so when A and B are together, so A and B together, 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 12. LCM is 60, so this is 6 plus 5 is equals to 11 upon 60. Therefore, number of days is equals to 60 upon 11 is equals to 55 upon 11 days. So, if both of them are working together, they will take 5 upon 11 days to complete the job. Okay, so that was sum number 2. We now move on to sum number 3. Okay, sum number 3 goes this way. One tap fills a tank in 20 minutes and the other tap fills it in 12 minutes. The tank being empty, and if both taps are open together, in how much time it will get full. So one can tap 1. Tap 1 can fill in 20 minutes. Therefore, it's 1 minute work is equals to 1 upon 20. Tap 2 can fill in 12 minutes. Therefore, it's 1 minute work is equals to 1 upon 12. Together, 1 minute work is equals to 1 upon 20 plus 1 upon 12. So LCM will be 240. In fact, it could be 60 in the easy one. 60. So it's 3 plus 5 is equals to 8 upon 60. Okay. So that will give you 4 upon 30 and 15 and 2. So it will be 2 upon 15. Therefore, number of minutes, or you can say time taken, together is equals to 15 upon 2 is 7 upon 2 minutes. So 7.5 minutes it will take for both of the taps together to fill up the tank. That was sum number 4. We now move on to sum number, this was sum number 3. We now move on to sum number 4. A can do the work in 6 days and B can do it in 8 days. They work together for 2 days and then B left the work. Okay, so now comes a tricky one. So let's see one by one, slowly and steadily. So now, so here what is going to happen is that A can do the work in 6 days, B can do it in 8 days. दोनों ने पार्टनरशिप किया और पार्टनरशिप करने के बाद में दोनों ने काम साथ में चालू किया. For 2 days they worked together and did a particular part of the job, and then what happened was दोनों के बीच में झगड़ा हो गया and B चला गया कि मुझे तुमने से काम नहीं करना. So what happens? Balance work जो भी है will have to be done by A alone. So if A alone needs to work there, so what is the time we will be taking to complete the work is what we need to find out. So first thing what we'll find out is what is the 1 day's work of A and B together. So first of all, we know that A's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon, what is that? 6, and B's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 8. Okay, so together 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 6 plus 1 upon 8. So that will be giving you the LCM to be as 24, 4s and 3s, so that will be 7 upon 24. So see, this is 1 day's work. Now for how many days did A and B work together? For 2 days, right? So work done in 2 days will be equal to 7 upon 24 into 2. क्योंकि 2 दिन काम किया ना, ये 1 day work है, तो 2 दिन का काम किया कितना हो जाएगा? It will be 7 upon 12 work. So That means that 7 upon 12 work was already completed by both of them together. Okay? So we need to know that therefore work balance is equals to 1 minus 7 upon 12. See, the one work में से 7 upon 12 work हो गया है. Okay? Out of the 12 upon 12 work, 5 upon 7 upon 12 work is already done. So 5 upon 12 work is remaining. So here it is nothing but 12 minus 7 upon 12 is equals to 5 upon 12 work. So the work remaining is 5 upon 12. And who did this work? It was A who did the work. So we knew here that, now we'll take a simple formula now. So formula क्या रहेगा इसके अंदर? That time taken is equals to work balance upon 1 day work. So we know that work balance is 5 upon 12 and 1 day work किसने काम किया अभी? कौन अकेला रह गया? B भाग गया तो A बाकी रहा. So A is going to do 1/6 of the work in 1 day. So that is 1 upon 6. Okay? So 5 upon 12 upon 1 upon 6 is nothing but 5 upon 12 into, so divided by 1 upon 6, so it will be into 6 upon 1. So this will be 2. So that will be 2.5 days. So A will need 2.5 days to complete. Now what is the question? Let's understand. How many days will A require to finish the work? Yes, it will require 2.5 days to finish the work. Okay, so that's the answer, that 2.5 days. A will require 2.5 days to complete the balance work which was there. Understood? क्या था इसके अंदर? A का 1 day work, B का 1 day work, दोनों का साथ में 1 day work is this much. They are working for 2 days together, so that's why the work done by both of them together in 2 days is 7 upon 12. That means the work balance after 2 days will be 5 upon 12. And who is going to do that work? It is A is going to do that work. तो अगर A 1/6 of the work into in 1 day, तो 5 upon 12 कितना टाइम लगेगा उसको? तो 2.5 days. So that's how we are going to do the sum of such nature. We now see sum number 5. Okay, so sum number 5. Okay, sum number 5. Now that is, A can do a piece of work in 40 days. He works at it for 8 days and then B finishes the remaining work in 16 days. How long will they take to complete the work if they do it together? Okay, so A can do the work in 40 days. He works for it on 8 days. Right, so let's see this way. 1 day work of A is equals to 1 upon 40. He worked for 8 days, therefore 8 day work is equals to 1 upon 40 into 8, that is nothing but 1 upon 5. So 1/5 of the work is already completed by A. Okay, so you know over here that work completed is equals to 1 upon 5. Therefore work balance is equals to 1 minus 1 upon 5, that will be 5 minus 1 upon 5 is equals to 4 upon 5. Okay, it is 4 upon 5 is what is the work balance. Now this balance work is completed by B in 16 days. Okay, this work which was balanced. So B completes 4 upon 5 work in 16 days. Therefore we'll take it for 1 day. Therefore, X work in 1 day, because we want to know that how much is B's 1 day's work. So we have over here cross multiplying it. X into 16 is equals to 4 upon 5 into 1. So X is equals to 4 upon 5 into 1 upon 16. That is 1 upon 20. That means B can do the work in 20 days, or we can say that B's 1 day work is 20. So you know that A's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 40. B's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 20. Therefore, A plus B will be equal to 1 upon 40 plus 1 upon 20, because they have asked us that how long will they take to complete the work if they work together. So that is what we are trying to do. So if they are working together, then it will be 1 plus 2 upon 40. So that will be 3 upon 40. Therefore, time taken is equals to 40 upon 3 days. So that is nothing but, this will be 113, 1 upon 3 days. Okay, so together they will take 13, 1 upon 3 days to complete the whole job. Okay, so that was your sum number 5. Okay, with this we move on to sum number 6. Okay, sum number 6. A and B separately do a work in 10 days and 15 days respectively. They work together for some days and then A completes the remaining work in 5 days. How many days had A and B worked together? So we'll do this way, that 6th sum, we'll go ulta. We'll first find out कि remaining work जो 5 days में A ने complete किया वो कितना work था. Okay, so we'll say over here that A's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10. Therefore, his 5 day work is equals to 1 upon 10 into 5 is equals to 1 upon 2. Therefore, 1 upon 2 work was balance over here, okay, which A completed was 1 upon 2 works. Therefore, work done by A and B together is equals to 1 minus 1 upon 2 is equals to 1 upon 2. Okay, you can write it as 2 minus 1 upon 2 is equals to 1 upon 2 work. So 1 upon 2 work was there, which was there, done by A and B together. Now we know that A's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 10. B's 1 day work is equals to 1 upon 5. So 15. Therefore, A plus B is equals to 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 15. The LCM is 30. So it's 3 plus 2 is equals to 5 upon 30. That will be 6. So that is 1 upon 6 is the work done by A and B together. Now they are going to complete half the work. Okay, total work half जो था उसमें करना है. So it will be time taken is equals to work balance upon time 1 day work. Okay, so that will be 1 upon 2 2 upon 1 upon 6. That will be 1 upon 2 into 6. That will be 3 days. So A and B worked together for 3 days. Understood? What we did was a bit ulta. हमने पहले क्या किया? They had given us that जो भी remaining work था, see पहले A और B ने दोनों ने साथ में काम किया कुछ दिनों के लिए. They completed certain amount of work and then B went away. Okay, B फिर से झगड़ा हुआ, B भाग गया. B चला गया तो A अकेला बैठ के काम करने लगा and he took 5 days to complete the remaining work. So what we did was that we found out that if A can do the work in 10 days, so in 5 days how much work he is doing, and accordingly we get to know that दोनों ने साथ में कितना काम किया था, जितना B ने complete किया उसमें से 1 minus करके जो मिलेगा वो, so वो half ही था. So that's why half of the work was already done by A and B together, and then A completed the remaining half work. So when A and B both worked together, they could have completed in one day 1/6 of the work. So if they wanted to complete half the work, then how much time it will take? It will take 3 days for them to complete the work in A and B. So that is why we see that the answer is 3 days. So it will be they worked together for 3 days and after that B left the work. So that is your sum numbers 6. Okay. We now move on to sum number 7, but I'll take it in the next video.